Alright, so my mouth is watering. Today we're at Shirley's greenhouse and we're interviewing Dawn Buschert. Now we have basil plants, we have different types of lettuce. We're going to talk about the different kinds of ways to produce and support local for local greenhouses. So we're going to talk about peppers, better ways to use good bugs and bad bugs. And we have all kinds of different ways to help you support local and learn more about Shirley's greenhouse. So we hope you enjoy, and we'll see you inside. Thanks so much for being with us today and joining us on this little interview.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Are you nervous?
Very nervous.
It's normal. I'm a little nervous too.
Perfect.
So we're going to talk about supporting local today.
Yes.
We're going to talk about your greenhouse.
Yes.
And you have so many cool little things that I want to know about.
Totally.
I'm sweating in here, I have to tell you that. We got the fans off.
Yeah.
And so we can hear more.
Yeah.
Now, how many people think your name is Shirley?
And I don't correct them.
So it's okay?
Yeah.
Tell me how Shirley's greenhouse got started and where you guys are now with what you're doing. We're in your greenhouse right now.
Yeah. So my mother is Shirley. I'm Dawn. And so my parents had a greenhouse, a commercial greenhouse, out west of Airdrie for 20 years. They grew long English cucumbers for wholesale and made a great living. 10 years ago, they sold their greenhouse and we built ours. So that's the history behind it.
So here we are.
Yeah.
What are you growing here in this greenhouse right now?
So we grow cucumbers, 2 types of cucumbers, about 8 varieties of tomatoes and peppers. 3 types of peppers. So lettuce, and then outside we've also got potatoes, carrots, onions, beets, pickling cucumbers, zucchini, things like that.
Tell us what those noises are going on right now, because I'm sure our viewers are going to be able to hear that as well.
Yeah, so that is the roof opening just a little. So the computer just told the sensors that it's just a touch too warm in here, and so it opened the roof just a little to let a little hot air out. And then when it gets cool enough, then it'll say, oh, and it'll close just a little.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot different than how greenhouses used to be.
Yeah.
Did your mom and her greenhouse have some of those systems?
They had huge fans at either end of the greenhouse, so it would blow all the air through. Huge electricity bill, where this is just a little electricity bill because it's just one little motor. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I have to ask you, I want to ask you this right away before I forget. Tell me about green or peppers, because you told me something the other day that I didn't know, and I'm hoping that I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. Everybody asks and everybody assumes. So there's not really such thing as a green pepper plant. All green peppers is an immature red, yellow, or orange pepper. So green peppers, they go from green to red, or green to orange, or green to yellow.
So there's no actual green seed, green pepper seed?
No, not really. They're an immature pepper, just like an immature tomato. Green tomato turns red.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so let's get into tomatoes a bit. Clearly we're standing in front of some tomato plants here.
Yeah.
Now, you told me something interesting about how you pick your tomatoes. Tell us about how conventional tomatoes are picked and then how you pick yours.
Yes, so we pick our tomatoes a whole lot redder than other greenhouses. So this bracket is ready to be picked because all of the tomatoes are turning, whereas most other greenhouses that sell to wholesale, meaning they send from the greenhouse to a packing facility, to a warehouse, to the store, pick them like this, where there's a couple of green tomatoes on the bottom. So our tomatoes have a bit more flavor because they're picked red, not green.
Tell me the difference, why a different type of business or company might pick them where they're more green and why you guys pick them while they're more ripe.
Okay, so they pick them green for a longer shelf life. So this has got time as it goes from the to the packing house, to the warehouse, to the store, to the shelf. This has more time to turn red, whereas this is almost ripe regardless. And so you want to eat this within the next, week or week and a half, whereas this you've got probably 2 or 3 weeks.
So do you have any issues with the grocery stores? They don't want to stock these ones because they go bad quickly?
So we we do have a little bit of trouble with that, but because we've cut out middlemen. So we pick from the greenhouse, we bring it directly to the grocery store, they put it on their shelf, we're already cutting out time, and then direct to the farmer's market, we're cutting out time there as well. So it's okay, but we couldn't send this through a warehouse. A warehouse would never accept this. It's too late.
Right, so let's get into some peppers at the store. So you guys don't use pesticides, herbicides. Tell me about.
So herbicides would kill our plants. So we've lost a crop to that already. We've got charcoal filters that filter that out. And so the real technical answer is we don't use herbicide, fungicide, insecticide unless certified or not. And so we want to make sure that it's all certified or not. That's absolutely.
Could I have a bunch of that? So I want to ask you, is there a certain number is there a reason why it's picked like this instead of maybe individually?
Yeah, so this is a tomato on the vine variety, and so they are meant to stay on the vine, whereas the beefsteak variety are meant to come off the vine, and so we pick them individually. So this one, there's no little, I don't even know what it's called, but there's no little thing there, whereas this, see, there's like a little nub there,
Okay.
and so it comes off individually.
So what would happen if you took that off? It wouldn't ripen properly?
No, it'll ripen properly. It just won't be on the vine.
And then it wouldn't be what it's supposed to be?
Then it's not tomato on the vine, it's tomato. I don't know.
Okay, I have to tell you.
I don't know if that's a technical answer, but.
We don't need a technical answer.
Okay.
So why do these tomatoes smell like homegrown fresh tomatoes, and then at the grocery store, not all of them, but sometimes you go and you smell a fruit or whatever it is and it doesn't smell like anything?
Because it's picked green and not red, I think. I don't know if that's actually the answer, but I think it's because this is a whole lot fresher. The other thing, when you go into a grocery store, especially tomato that's been shipped up from Mexico or something like that, see how these branches are alive, like they look alive? In the grocery store, yeah. In the grocery store, they're sometimes dead. They're dried up and dead looking. That tomato, or that branch, is probably a week to 2 weeks old. So,
Okay.
this is fresh.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
So when I'm at the grocery store, I like to smell the fruit. Like
Yeah.
I like to smell an apple. I like the smell of it.
Yeah.
And tomatoes, I always smell like tomatoes.
Mhm.
So I was at the grocery store, and I didn't think anyone was around. I mean, I smell it anyways, but
Yeah.
I picked up a tomato, and I smelled it, and I was like, and then I opened my eyes, and there's a grocery store worker, and they were kind of behind some boxes, and they were looking at me. And then I looked up, and I was like, oh, and then we both started laughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyways, I love this. I love the smell of fresh.
I get it at market all the time. People will pick up our tomatoes and smell them and just sit there and go, because they smell like tomatoes, not like cardboard, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to tell us about the bugs that you guys use. Is that the proper way to say it?
Yeah.
The bugs that you guys use
Yeah.
as a
Pesticide. So we spend thousands of dollars every year on good bugs to eat the bad bugs. And so our first response always, and actually in every greenhouse across the province, the first response is good bugs to eat bad bugs. And so in our peppers, we do not use the systemic pesticide, the pesticide that we put in the water. We only use good bugs to eat the bad bugs, which are the aphids, which is our worst pest in the peppers.
So break this down for me. The bad bugs are
Aphids.
aphids, and the good bugs are
Ladybugs, fiddle ladies, which is like a worm that eats the aphids, or colmani, which is like a stinging wasp type thing, and
you
it
bring
will,
them in here.
yeah. And
It's gonna
it's
sting
just
you?
no, it's just little, and then it stings it lays an egg in the aphid, and then the egg hatches and kills the egg.
Tell me about what's going on here.
So he is picking tomatoes. So
I'll put these back for
sure.
on the vine.
On the vine, tomato on the vine. Oh, and a beefsteak. Yeah.
So this cart just makes it easier to push up and down the aisle.
So on the floor there's rails, and that's our hot water heating. And then the cart just runs on the rails, and it's our tools. So he stood behind it to pick, When we pick our small varieties, we actually sit on the cart to pick, and then put them into the bucket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did this idea come from?
Oh, it's greenhouse standard right from the Netherlands.
That's what people do?
All this technology is all from the Netherlands. They're even 10, 15 years ahead of us.
So, all right, tell me about the importance of supporting local. I'd imagine, well, most of us, we can't, that's why I want to put these videos together. We can't survive without supporting local, without having local support.
Right.
And that's got to be more important for you. Tell me about the importance of supporting local.
Totally important. So my parents, like I said, they grew long English cucumbers, they wrapped them, they brought them to a warehouse, the warehouse sold them to a store, the store sold them to the customer. So there was a few steps in between. It's a simpler process, but when you sell wholesale, you get dictated your price. Now wholesale, like to the warehouse. And so the warehouse, we phone up the warehouse, we say we've got 100 dozen cucumbers, they say okay, $5.25 a dozen, and that's what we get. And so when it was $5.25 a dozen in March, when we have our $10,000 gas bill, we're like, that doesn't work. And they're like, well, that's what it is. We can get it from Mexico for that price, so that's what we're going to pay you. And so that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. So then what we did was we got into tomatoes and peppers, and we do direct marketing to customers at farmers markets. So we cut out the wholesaler, and we cut out the store, although we do ship direct to stores, and that's a wonderful relationship, even cutting out one middle guy. And then we can pay our bills that way.
So tell us about some of the markets that you're at locally.
So our main market is Simons Valley in Calgary, and then we do Market on McLeod in South Calgary. We do Stephen Avenue this year, Olds, Airdrie, Three Hills, and I think that's it this year.
How many markets are you guys doing a week?
Right now we're at 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and Monday's a big pick day. So, yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, we've got a great team that help us. And back to the local thing, without our customers, we don't have a farm. So I really view our customer base as our team, because without our customers, we can't pay our bills on the farm. And without our farm, they don't eat, or they eat product from Mexico or from, wherever else.
That's a working relationship.
It totally is a working relationship. And so we had a whole bunch extra tomatoes this weekend, so we put them on a great sale because we have extra, we pass it along to
Tell me how you work with other farmers.
Oh yeah, so we work with other growers, so like Country Time Farms, Eagle Creek Farms, S4 Greenhouse in Macomb, Noble Gardens out of Lethbridge, and so we work with them in that we take some of their product in, kind of like a co-op, but not really a co-op, and we sell their product for them.
So why do you do that?
So that we're not all at the same market at the same time every day. So it works good as an outlet for them, and yeah.
Better work together.
Oh, farmers working with farmers, that's the way to have it, yeah.
So come over here and show us this table.
Oh yeah, so this is our honor system, and so people come into our garage all the time, and they take what they want off of here, and they put their money in our nice little recycled jar, and yeah, it works out really good.
What do you call it, the honor system?
The honor system. So people come in and they take what they want out of our garage, and they put their money in a jar, and it works out so well. And
so tell me about not being worried about people aren't going to pay for the food, or is a big bucket of money sitting there?
I've never had an issue. When you put trust in people, people don't abuse that typically. And really, if they do, that's their issue. And really, if they need tomatoes that bad, take them. You need tomatoes that bad, take them. Yeah.
So farmers markets, tell us about some of the other ways that we can find out what you guys are doing, or where we can get your products.
Yeah, so we do Crossfield, Carstairs, Didsbury for local grocery stores. We do all the farmers markets. We've got a great Facebook page that you can follow us on. And we've got a website, but I don't know how to find it, so. Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's all of the questions. So thanks so much for joining us
No
today.
problem. Yeah, thanks for coming and talking about local food. Yay! So I'm Dawn Buschert of Shirley's Greenhouses. This is my husband Cameron. This is Melissa, Taya, and Danielle. Thank you for supporting our farm. We really appreciate it.
Kick them like this.
Sorry. My butt's ringing. That's not going to go on there, hey? Oh, that's my... Sorry, can I take it for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.